feeling very old. I'd just like to thank the Vertical Events team and everyone here today. It's a fantastic conference and I'm very pleased to have the opportunity to present to you today. I'll give you a bit of an intro into Cazaly, what we do, who we are, where we've come from, and then I'd like to focus on our most recent projects that we've added to our portfolio. As Chrissy mentioned, the Sundown project. We'll get that playing later on, I'm sure, too. This is our usual disclaimer, and we do have some handouts that are on the desk over there, so you can read those at your leisure later. It's also on our ASX platform, so please feel free to jump on and have a look. So Cazaly Resources, we have been around for 20 years. We're a mineral resources company. We have a very diverse portfolio of projects across a number of commodities, also with great geographical exposure. So these snapshots really sort of show and capture what our company is about. We add value to our projects through boots on ground exploration, and also advance these projects through to resource development. As you can see, the rig out there, that's at Halls Creek, which is currently in mine study stage. Excuse me, I'm a bit croaky. We also add value and look to divest projects, like how can we return this value to the company, and continue that process. So Cazaly, a good example of this one is in 2019, Cazaly actually sold the Parker Range iron ore project to Mineral Resources. That's currently in production. It was sold for $20 million. Half of that was returned to shareholders as a dividend, and we also retain a royalty on that project of 50 cents a tonne after the first 10 million tonnes. And we expect that royalty to kick in late 2025. We also have the Equinox iron ore project. We divested the Hammersley iron ore project into Equinox. We retain 15.7% in that company in equity, and Equinox are currently advancing that project to development. Here's a current snapshot of our board. So as I mentioned, Clive Jones, who is now our chairman, he founded the company 20 years ago, this month in October, next month, founded with the late Nathan McMahon. So this team developed our business practices that we still continue today. This is our shareholder and capital structure. As you can see, given that the company has been around for 20 years, this is a fairly tight capital structure with less than 400 million shares on market. We do have quite a number of projects, which I won't go into all of them today, but please come and see me after this if you'd like to talk more about them. And you can see our share price there, closed on Friday at just over 4 cents. This is a spread of our current projects. So we have projects in Western Australia. We have the Halls Creek project. This is our most advanced copper project. We currently have that in an MOU with AU King, and as I mentioned, that's in a mine scoping stage. We have the Ashburton project. This is a very large landholding in the Ashburton Basin. We've done a lot of good groundwork there already to date, and we've got very significantly large mineralised trends there for gold, copper, and also rare earth. We've also done some VTEM work there over our copper anomalies, and we do have some rock chip samples there which have gone over 32% copper, which is fantastic. Our Lions rare earth project, this was recently staked by Cazaly. Now that is on the Lions River Fault, and we're in very good company there. So we know that we've got Dreadnought to our northwest, and we've also got Abra to our east. So basically this area is prospective for rare earths and also base metals. For us, it's early stage exploration, and it will just be first pass boots on ground to see where we develop that project. We also have some critical mineral projects in Namibia, We have the lithium project in Kayoko, and we also have Abinab North. This is currently in application, but we expect that to be granted in the next week or two. And that is prospective for rare earths and also base metals. I'll just go back one. Today I'd really like to tell you more about our Canadian projects. So our Carb Lake Rare Earth Project is located in Ontario. I'll go into that secondly. Initially, I'd like to talk to you about our most recent acquisition in Quebec, and this is the Sundown Lithium project. So we recently settled on this project in early August. It's a fantastic jurisdiction. You've already heard a bit about this area. We're in a Tier 1 mining district. You can see we're located here between battery metals, Patriot Battery Metals at Corvette, and Allchem's James Bay deposit. So as I mentioned, we're in a great district, really good infrastructure in the area. And what attracted us to this particular package was the very large land holding and also the correct rock types. So we know that we still have great opportunities for discoveries in this area. This is our land package just in detail. What it shows here is we have 260 square kilometres across the Gladman Suite. Now this is a periluminous pegmatitic granite suite. It was actually only recently identified by the geologists, the government geologists in Quebec. So they've obviously had a mandate to go out and look for these pegmatites in the field, which they have done, and reported on this not too long before we actually settled on this project. We also have 200 pegmatites identified on the property. Herein lies the opportunity. We know that there's been exploration, certainly in this district. You can see the Eleanor gold mine located to the south. And there's been plenty of exploration in the district, but it has all been for gold and a bit of base metals. So this is a fantastic opportunity for us to get on the ground and sample these outcrops and test them for lithium, and of course a multi-element lithochemical suite. Since we finalised the acquisition in August, we have done as much target generation as possible from desktop studies. And that was, we've acquired satellite imagery, we've used spectral imagery, and what we've been able to do is identify what looks like pegmatite in outcrops. So certainly long lengths of white rock, up to 1.5 kilometres. So we're pretty excited to get on the ground and rock chip sample these. Obviously, following those results, we'll be very keen to follow this up as soon as we can. Based on the appropriate approvals and negotiations that we need to have underway. We'll collect some more rock chip samples if required. If not, if we've covered enough of the property and have enough targets generated, then we can run straight into drilling. It is recommended to drill this after autumn, so we would be looking to drill this late in the year in December. And of course, exploration, as you know, is an iterative process, and we anticipate this will be our focus project for at least the next 6 to 12 months based on success. I'd like to tell you a little bit now about our Carb Lake Rare Earth Project. This is a very large carbonatite. So this is located in northwest Ontario. You can see there the image on your right. It's an aeromagnetic image. This carbonatite's about just over 3 kilometres in diameter. Just for comparison, Mount Weld is only 3 kilometres in diameter. So it's a very significant body. Very little exploration has been done on this particular carbonatite. Only 4 diamond holes were drilled into the carbonatite in the 1960s. And it wasn't assayed for rare earths at the time. They were actually looking for niobium. So in the 1980s, the local government geologists have done some further studies there, and they got over-detection limits for cerium and lanthanum, and also niobium up to 7%, which is extremely high. So since we acquired this project in June, we have been able to track down the original core. However, most of it was consumed during those early studies. So diamond holes 4 and 3, most of that has already been consumed. However, we did get access to 1 and 2. You can see the diamond core there on the left. You can see the holes in the core trays been eaten by beavers. It is quite old, that stuff. But nonetheless, we were able to undertake XRF work, portable XRF work on the core, and it did return anomalous results for rare earths. So we got praseodymium at 0.4%, neodymium at 1.5%, and also high levels of lanthanum over 3, cerium over 4, and niobium at 0.6. We've also acquired the 2011 aeromagnetic survey. You can see here that significant detail that we didn't see in the previous image. So that's a regional survey. This is the more detailed 2011 survey. This is a horizontal gradient, and it really shows you the comparison between the high mag areas and also the low mag areas. This is important because we will be using this in target generation already. Okay, we've also acquired high resolution satellite imagery, which we have used to better, I guess, plan our reconnaissance mission. We have just had a team on the ground out here. That's a rough outline of the carbonatite in red. It's a bit messy, but that's sort of how you do traverses, really. So the guys have managed to traverse 102 kilometres across the property and crisscross the carbonatite many times. We're very fortunate that there was some float on ground. So there's only about 6 centimetres of cover to 12 centimetres of cover here. However, we did find some float. That has been sampled. That's sort of what it looks like. And that is now in the lab for analysis. So Cazaly's track record is long. We've got a very good, sturdy business model of project generation, and we look to add value back into the business whenever we can at any stage of these projects. That's our current spread, just to reiterate. And a quick summary of projects in our portfolio at the moment. You know, there's plenty of upside in Cazaly with the share price at just over 4 cents. Just in the Sundown Lithium project alone, with 260 square kilometres of untested ground for lithium mineralisation. We've also got a Halls Creek project, Ashburton project, and the Lyons project. So plenty of upside here. Please come and talk to me about any of these projects. I will just be outside on the table. Yeah, fantastic times ahead for Cazaly, and I'm really looking forward to seeing the results of our first exploration program at Sundown. Let's go see.